Hi, all. Welcome to yet another Koot podcast series where we discuss global SaaS adoption trends, global tech adoption trends with global industry leaders. And today we have one special guest with us, Rohit Aradhya, who is MD VP at Barracuda Networks. Barracuda, for the audience, who may not be aware of Barracuda, it's a US-based cybersecurity-based organization. So Rohit leads, the cybersecurity and the cloud platform at Barracuda. So let's welcome Rohit. He comes with a deep expertise in, cloud, SaaS platforms, and cybersecurity. So welcome, Rohit. Thank you so much for taking out time for us and the audience. Really looking forward to learn a lot from you, Rohit, in this podcast.
It's my pleasure to be here, Nageshwari. Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Rohit. So let's start with your brief career journey because I know you were already working with Cisco also, and you have a strong experience in showing the business outcomes and the strategy outcomes, and you were also delivering enterprise grade products. So little curious to know more about your career journey, Rohit.
Sounds good. It's a good start, actually. I have around 25 plus years of experience in the industry. I started my career with a startup in Hyderabad.
Oh,
And
okay,
luckily for me that we started in the cybersecurity domain itself. The company was in cybersecurity domain,
okay,
and I got to work on some of the pioneering technologies of IPsec, IEC, and many of those things in way back in 98, 99. And that was like those technologies were actually evolving, and
okay,
got to learn a lot. I was with them for almost like a couple of years. Then I moved on to Motorola. Motorola was setting up their center in Hyderabad.
okay. Oh,
So did a lot of work in cell phone technology, CDMA technologies, and cyber security in CDMA, basically mobile security and those
yeah.
aspects of things.
So
Then
you know the complete life cycle of I mean Motorola sounds little like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So then I moved to Motorola Bangalore and did a
Okay.
lot of work on network security, Kerberos security, and a lot of stuff. So basically, networking and security has been my
Mm.
home domain for a long time.
Okay.
I was with Motorola for almost like 8.5 to 9 years. Did a lot of work in networking, security, carrier class routers, and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then Cisco came
Mm.
calling, and they were setting up a firewall group in Cisco, and I joined them to set up the firewall group in India.
Okay.
And it was a very fruitful, enjoying 14 plus years of journey with Cisco. I
Oh
grew,
wow.
I
14
grew
plus.
there. I grew there from leader to leadership positions, and did a lot of work in different products of those things like their ASA routers, next generation firewalls, ASA firewalls, next generation firewalls, not engine, and cloud-based firewalls. So a lot of work, and it got to grow organizations, work in different leadership positions, got groomed for different leadership options. And then
Wonderful.
around 4 years ago, just immediately after pandemic, Barracuda was looking for the India head, managing
Ah,
director for India. So I joined them and grew the organization to what it is right now here. And along with heading the India operations, I'm also looking at application security, WAF and WAF as a service. Kind of.
wonderful. Wonderful, Rohit. What a phenomenal and versatile profile you have, Rohit. Let me start with this because given your deep expertise, I mean, you started your journey, developing a product, then Motorola, and then Cisco. Now, at current situation, Rohit, what is the expectation from the global engineering centers or the GCCs? How should the organizations be? I know the expectation is they should be innovation driving rather than just execution, and it is actually happening. Nokia at the Manyata Center, it is the largest number of patent producer center, right? So, how can an organization undergo this transition according to you, Rohit?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a great question, right? It is very timely question also, considering the AI is changing the way we are actually doing our work and whole processes are getting changed. So GCCs, right, have some significant inherent advantages because since although they were built for process efficiency, cost arbitrage, and efficacy and other related stuff, but since they are involved with the products and the domain for a long time, they have built those capabilities in them,
Yeah.
right? So, the way the transformation happens is that instead of focusing on like output, I think the teams have to start focusing on the outcome, right? At
Okay. Outcome versus output.
output.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a very clear demarcation when you are trying to solve for something end to end,
Hmm.
solve for trying to address the problem what customer is facing, not about your module or your functionality or your deliverable and those aspects of things, right? So that is the
Sure.
differentiation it makes. Second thing is you have to hold yourself accountable for the outcome,
Yeah.
right?
This is time and again I'm hearing from so many leaders that we expect the ownership from the team.
You
Okay.
expect the ownership, and once you start showing the ownership, you get the seat at the table, right? When people are starting to notice the fact that you are actually holding yourself and your teams are accountable, and you are actually standing up when there is chips are
Hmm.
down, and your customer is actually looking for somebody to take ownership. When a GCC or the team or the leaders in the GCC, when they stand up, that gets noticed, right? And then the some of the other parts of it is like you have to be able to build an innovation mindset. Now it is not happens every day, or it
Hmm.
doesn't happen overnight, right? But the advantage is that you, since knowing the product, knowing the services, you also understand, like let's take an example, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I was about to. Yeah.
See, for example, right, in my teams and in the organization where I work with, I have different teams: network security, application security, email security, and many of those things, right? Sitting out in GCC. Now, if you go to the US and many other places, only one team exists in one center or one places,
Okay. Oh,
right?
okay.
So, by the virtue being in GCC, we are kind of a microcosm of the whole organization here,
Okay.
right? So when people who are driving email security, who talks to application security, and application security actually talks to network security, we realize there is a lot of common infrastructure, common values. Like for example, data
Hmm.
handling.
Yeah.
There is expertise what we have in data handling, where we use some kind of a technology to handle large set of data in application security.
Yeah.
The same ability I can leverage it across different teams as well. Mhm.
Got it.
Expertise what we have in one teams can be actually cross-pollinated into different teams in GCCs easily.
Absolutely.
So bringing two or three skills together, you can actually make an exponential value for the company.
Hmm.
Okay. So the advantage of GCCs is that you have your services, your workflow handling, your development team, your QA team, and different products sitting on the same floor at the
Same.
same location.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You should be able to leverage that and showcase the value for it. The other piece is like in the ever changing picture of the business and other parts of it, you may not be sitting very close to the customer, but you will be sitting on some critical pieces, like for example data, business
Hmm.
data.
Yeah.
Since you have so much amount of product, so much amount of service here in this, be the center of excellence for something. Center of excellence for data, center of excellence for processes, center of
Yeah.
excellence for handling threat related information, so on and so forth. So building that view of end to end view, like I am the owner for this thread, which is horizontal piece in the company.
Hmm.
Okay. That is how you bring in transformation and innovation mindset and change proposition into the organization.
Absolutely. So once if some team is having that innovation mindset and if is owning, after that, what might be the challenge, Rohit? And why are some GCCs getting closed and some GCCs are flourishing?
Yeah, no, it's not only about technology, right? I
Okay.
mean, you may be able to build a very strong product line, but you also need some bit of leadership, people skills,
Ah,
stakeholder
okay.
management skills, soft skills, and other stuff. So
Absolutely.
you have to build a strategy which is win-win in nature. sitting out here in India, you also have to make sure the fact that you understand the big picture, how the business is growing,
Hmm.
where are the challenges of the business, right? And the
Absolutely.
teams out there in US, how do they operate?
Hmm.
It's not either or conversation, it's an and conversation.
Hmm.
So this onus lies on the leadership sitting out in GCCs.
Got it.
They
Got it.
have to be able to talk to the leaders out there, have to be able to build a strategy. Partnerships are very necessary, right? Where
Okay.
they trust you, you trust them, and the value what you together build for the organization is way better than individually what we can contribute.
Absolutely. At
See,
sorry, please go ahead.
no, no, the point what I was trying to say is one biggest advantage what we have is the talent pool,
Hmm.
right? And when you have that talent pool, how to harvest that talent and actually help us to drive the value to the company is what a leadership is all about.
Absolutely. Can you share one example at Barracuda? What, some sponsorship or some support given from the leadership, which actually moved one project ahead. Some, if you don't mind sharing,
Yeah,
Rohit.
yeah. Sure, sure. See, I mean, there are multiple such examples are there. So, but I'll give you a few. Like when I joined the company, one of the biggest product what we have is WAF, which is the web application firewall.
Okay.
Where I'm
What
the
is that? Can you repeat that, Rohit? Sorry.
web application firewall.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Sorry.
Okay. So I'm the engineering head for that.
Yeah.
So, how we can propagate the leadership is like we were trying to take some more products into India and develop new teams out here.
Yeah.
So we decided to take some of the key leaders from this existing team and seed those teams. Yeah.
Okay.
So this strategy of like giving this opportunity for our existing experienced engineers to seed newer teams and
Yeah.
give them an opportunity to lead newer team, help them to seed multiple other product teams in India.
How much time did it take, Rohit, an approximate, and how many key decision makers were involved in this?
So when these kind of decisions are done, right? I mean, you need to make sure you take all the stakeholders into consideration, right?
Hmm.
And when we decided that, okay, one of the product line is going to come into India, we also pitched to this person who is in the existing team saying that, okay, this is an opportunity for you to grow. This
Yeah.
is an opportunity for you to step up.
Yeah.
And when the individual said that, yes, I would like to pursue this, then there is a conversation happened with the global stakeholder than the individual. And to understand, make sure he's the right fit for that person, right
Hmm.
fit for that, right? And then we bring that person into that role. He has to build a team around him. He has to hire, build a team around him.
Yeah.
And I sitting out here in India as a leader for the center, I also have to grow that individual in the big picture. So how do
Okay.
you manage? How do you grow? How do you build a new team? What are the key short-term deliverables you need to do?
Yeah.
What is the small wins, the longer term wins? All those conversations. It's a grooming process which this leader has,
Hmm.
right? So for us to successfully transition some of the products, successfully show value to the organization, it takes anything between 12 to 18 months.
12 to 18 months. Great. Wow.
It's a
Sure.
journey, right? It's a journey where we are building incremental value into
Yeah.
the organization, and there is a people to people trust, team to team trust. Then there is a wins which demonstrate the proving capability of the newer team which has come up
Yeah.
in a different center. Then the processes, global processes, has to seep in, and then there is a coherency which is built between the multiple sites in the team, then the thing starts happening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rohit. Slightly shifting the gear, Rohit, now. Now, when, let's say some product, let's say cybersecurity product, when now it is going for the evaluation, so much, internal selling, now I'm going for to external selling. Uh, when it is going for the evaluation and you have already dealt with the enterprise grade products delivery, you have led the teams of enterprise grade product delivery teams. How do the enterprises evaluate? Because time and again, from the service companies we hear procurement as a roadblock. but when it is a product, when you have the unique, your differentiation, you have a unique feature, you have the unique value proposition. I don't think procurement will be the roadblock. But how do overall an enterprise is going to evaluate a product, like, let's say, into a cyber security, Rohit?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, right? I mean, it's not always about how superior your technology is.
Okay.
It is all about like what business problem are you solving for the customer.
Okay.
So it has to be from the perspective of like if the customer would like to buy your product, he has to understand and appreciate the value what the product is giving to you,
Hmm.
right? So let's see one thing which I keep telling to many people: simplicity of your product is the most undersold value of your product.
Please come again.
The simplicity of your product,
Yeah.
the most valuable proposition of your product.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So if it is simple enough, it is something which is easy enough to learn and people are
Hmm.
able to use it, and
Yeah.
time to value or the time to first value is shorter and smaller, the adoption is going to be humongous.
Okay.
The second part of it is like the change management. The people think that when you introduce a newer technology or newer product, it is basically a just people will adopt it. No, it doesn't
Hmm.
work,
Yeah.
because in an organization, people are used to working in a certain fashion and certain products, and they build the skill over a period of time. Right?
Absolutely.
So you need to look at it in a change management or a change transformation journey where you get the first adopters of that product, then
Yeah.
you help the others to understand and develop, move forward with respect to those changes, so on and so forth. Right?
Yeah.
Then there is one is the organizational readiness aspect of thing, but there
Hmm.
is owners. You need owners in the organization. Like when you introduce a newer technology or a product, you need some sponsor and there is a owner
You mean in the buying, in the
buying
buying? You
buying
mean the champions who actually?
champion.
Yeah.
Yes. So who are like passionate about adopting this new capability, who are
Hmm.
sold on the fact that yes, we need this,
Hmm.
and this is how the value is being delivered for this product, and this is
Yeah.
how the business value is going to get obtained over a period of time. This is the value for the investment what we are making. So that kind of a owner is required, right?
Absolutely.
And last but not the least, that measurements. You
Sure.
should be able to measure that factor when the product got introduced. And see, when a pilot comes in, we usually sell the features.
Hmm.
But the longer term adoption or successful adoption in an organization is because it is actually able to resiliently, reliably show value over a
Hmm.
period of time. That is how the adoption happens.
Got it.
Right? I'll give you an example. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
here's
Absolutely.
Zoom, for example, this
Yeah.
Zoom we are using. During pandemic, the adoption went through the roof for a simple reason. It was simple to use. People saw the value, and people are able to, anybody from a elderly 70 years old individual to a 10-year-old, 6 years old individual was able to leverage and use this product for communicating with their peers, families, and work. And the technology was superior, everybody knew, but the
Yeah.
fact it was able to scale so high without any inhibitions, without any challenges. Right?
Absolutely.
So some
I
of these characters help. So,
I
yeah.
can completely relate to what you said, Rohit, because, like I mentioned, I'm a 2x entrepreneur. Earlier to this, I was running an online robotics. And that time, because I was a robotics teacher, Zoom really helped. Students who are 5 years old, Rohit, they were able to, it was during the COVID time, by the way. So, yeah, I can completely, resonate to what you're saying about Zoom, Rohit.
Yeah, no, I mean, at least in cybersecurity, right? I mean, it's there, our customers are putting their trust in us.
Hmm.
Right? So I think something they have to rely on the fact that our products are actually sitting in their business workflows and
Absolutely.
protecting them against all the threats, cybersecurity attacks which are happening out there.
Hmm.
Right? The performance becomes very, very important. But it also becomes important that our product should not hinder their business. Right?
Hmm.
If their administrator is spending like 2 hours to configure their product, we should not add even one more minute to his time. We should be able
Okay.
to protect them without having to increase the system administrator's time in that. So some of these criteria matter.
Absolutely. No, no. Thanks for sharing, Rohit. Again, insightful. Now, when it comes to when you are procuring, right? When internally, let's say buy versus build, which is the very toughest question to most of the senior leaders, which are the, let's say non-negotiable aspects when you make them what we can build it in house, but which is that point at which you are like, okay, let's go and explore in the market. And when you are at that point, what are the different metrics with which you are evaluating the different vendors, Rohit?
Yeah. So build versus buy is a very old traditional decision. So it's not always about the technology. It's
Hmm.
about the strategy or a strategic aspect of your company or the organization. Right? You have to be very clear what is the core of your organization.
Hmm.
So if the core piece or the capability what you have, and that is what the differentiates your product in the market, that is what differentiates the customer experience, that is what differentiates the revenue earning capability and unique selling point of your product, that has to be always built in-house. Okay. That
Okay.
is your IP, that is your
Yeah,
intellectual,
yeah, of course. The core
right?
IP, yeah.
Core IP, right? The pieces which are mature technologies
Hmm.
and which are already matured in the market, which is
Yeah,
commoditized to a large extent, and there is nothing that you can do by adding value or building in-house inside,
yeah.
right? Those are the technologies you should go out and buy.
Okay.
And see, it's not always either or conversation. It's always going to be like some technologies you go buy because you want to create the holistic product much faster. And
Hmm.
by buying, you are saving a lot of time in
Yeah,
meanwhile. But over a period of time, you build the capability inside so that that will help you to keep the IPs inside the organization,
absolutely.
right? But also, when you trying to buy something, you have to keep something in mind that uh, there are certain aspects which makes a lot of difference. Compliance, right?
Huh.
The security,
Hmm.
and when some of the challenges pertaining to the what are the processes that product development team has followed,
Yeah.
vulnerabilities. Okay.
Hmm.
So some of those things matter. Right?
Hmm.
One last thing which we need to understand is whenever you buy, don't only look at from the perspective of product capabilities or the cost or the thing. You also have to look at from the perspective of total cost of value for the life cycle.
Okay.
You buy it, but like you bought it, but the fact that every 6 months you have to upgrade, you
Yeah.
have to do a lot of changes and life cycle management, you need three people to keep it maintaining for the rest of the
Hmm.
life cycle. That itself is a huge ask on the organization.
Absolutely.
You need to be careful about the whole life cycle of that product. What is the investment your org is making?
Hmm.
Okay. So
Sure.
these are the criteria you need to apply when you actually go out and buy some products or technologies.
Absolutely. Now, one follow up, if you don't mind. At Barracuda, are you in India GCC, Rohit? Are you collaborating with vendors? If yes, which category? You can name them. I mean, you can anonymous in this, but the broad category, if you could mention, that'd be helpful to our audience.
So usually since we are a cybersecurity product
Yeah.
organization, we do not use any external vendors to as much as possible, right?
Okay.
Because we deal with a lot of customer data, and we are kind of like very particular about our security of our own products and how you deal with different IPs, different capability, different functionalities, and all that stuff. We have a very rigorous process, if at all, if we are going to use a third party product, how we use it, what are the certifications we need, what are the capabilities which they need to have, what is the kind of organization we need, and all. So we need to go through that processes and do that. But these decisions are not done at the GCC level. These decisions
Okay.
are done at the company level where CIOs and CTOs are in.
Okay, okay. But have you, because Barracuda is a new GCC, right? So is it in the phase of where you people at the India leadership level, in the process of taking it to the HQ, Rohit?
Barracuda is not a new GCC. We are in India for last
Okay, sorry. Okay,
21 years.
okay,
But no, I mean, we evaluate technologies. Like, for example, right now, when we are adapting AI in our software development lifecycle, We are trying to evaluate certain products to measure how the user productivity, how the
Okay.
adoption of different things happens. There are tools out there which will help us to measure what kind of productivity our development teams are looking at, how many check-ins happen. Some of those things are there. We evaluate,
Okay.
and we propose that back to our
H-
HQ and say
yeah.
this is what it is, and then we compare, and we're part of the decision making process.
You're part of the decision. So that's what I wanted to understand. You are at least the influencers and the part of the decision
Yes,
making.
yes, yes.
Sure, sure.
No,
No, that is.
yeah, no, I think that the fact which I want to highlight is that when you are a cybersecurity company, there's a lot of ownership is on you because you
Hmm.
are holding the customer trust.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
are very responsible from that perspective, right? Because when you are actually trying to protect the customer business, you also are trying to ensure that fact that you are very secured as a product and service.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure, sure, Rohit. Helpful. Now, because you keep mentioning about cybersecurity and the compliance, one question related to this: how do you deal with the speed of the need? Right, you have to keep having the innovation on track. AI and AI agents. On the other hand, you have to balance with the compliance. So, how do you balance that, Rohit?
No, when this is all new, right? AI
Yeah.
adoption, and many of these technologies are new. I think still things are evolving a lot, but I think we need to make sure that security is by design, right? What I
Okay.
mean by that is like whenever you are leveraging AI or any newer technologies, during the design phase only, you need to build in resiliency and security into it, just not the
Hmm.
functionality. Okay. And also the secondary part of it is like when you evaluate this technology, take it into consideration into your own products, you understand that what is that you are liable for, what are your compliance requirements are, what is the certification the current technology is coming in, all those things you need to assess and evaluate.
Okay.
Okay. The third part of it is as part of your software development life cycle or a product development life cycle, security is inbuilt at every phase.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to see, I keep telling to a lot of people, like many technologies like mobile,
Yeah.
financial, many of these verticals are considered as vertical. Security is horizontal.
Yeah.
It's a Wi-Fi or wired or any technologies which you take, security is always going to be horizontal. Right? So I think that even from a developer perspective, a tester perspective, a product manager perspective, all of them need to have a hat where they're thinking about the security of the product, security of the
Hmm.
process. Okay? So that is how you
Absolutely.
need to ensure the fact.
Absolutely. And Rohit, when a new capability is emerging in front of the leadership, how do you decide whether should we go ahead with the agentic AI or human in loop? So how do you take that decision, Rohit?
See, I mean, wherever AI and agents are useful is where you are database decision making,
Okay.
repetitive
Hmm.
decision making is to happen, where you need scale, where you
Huh.
need to churn a lot of data,
Yeah.
lot of information, and you need to make decisions, and there is a pattern involved there.
Yeah.
And those kind of a cases, AI will do really well. It will
Really
help
well.
you
Yeah.
to scale well, you'll be able to optimize it, will give you options and other things. But where humans are required is where there is intent is there.
Hmm.
You want to understand human intent, right?
Hmm.
There is a trust aspect involved where you are talking to a customer has to trust you from that perspective.
Hmm.
There is a communication involved, right?
Hmm.
Then there is exception handling involved,
Yeah.
where you know for a fact that this customer is important and it's ending probably this quarter, it's ending for him, and it's there is a sensitivity part is involved. It's not
Yeah.
about rule based decision making, right? That is where humans come into picture. So I think the value what humans add is like understanding the context, understanding the trust factor, understanding the intent, what is behind the business, and
Hmm.
understanding the fact that standing up and communicating something goes wrong, having an ability to stand up and communicate, taking the ownership, for example.
Yeah.
These are the cases where humans are, those aspects will come into picture, where
Hmm.
repeatability is there, database decision handling is there, pattern matching is there, where
Hmm.
scalability and
Hmm.
performance required. Some of those things can be given off to AI selections.
Yeah. And even, for example, in retail, even if it is coming to supply chain, or there is a human in loop, right? I mean,
Yeah.
whenever there's a CRM, as you mentioned, rightly mentioned, the communication, the behavioral aspect of the customers. Maybe wherever there's a human emotional thing is involved, a human should be there in the loop.
Yeah, I mean, when there is ownership involved, when there is a decision aspect is involved, human come picture, right?
Absolutely.
I'll give you another piece of it, right? Like, for example, people think that uh, uh, AI can do everything, or AI can do a lot of the tasks. AI can do a lot of stuff, and every
Yeah.
day, every week, the new models are coming in, adding little, definitely more capabilities
Yeah.
and all those related things. But if you step back and look at like the decision-making models, what is happening,
Mm.
there is a philosophical base for that.
Yeah.
When the model created, it has to have a base where basically it's saying that uh, in this context, in this structure, that's making a decision. And this structure, this context is actually defined by a human.
Hmm.
So there is a human bias involved there as well.
Absolutely. Sure, sure. Now we're coming to the end of our podcast. One last question, which I ask with most of our speakers, Rohit, is if you could share, because given your, such a more than 2 decades of experience from startup founder to now, handling high level, enterprise B2B products, and now leading a GCC. Uh, I'm sure you would have come across so many challenges. So, if you could share one small story about resilience, it can be related to your, business or out of business, personal. What was the situation and how did you overcome it, Rohit?
Yeah, yeah. No, I can. There's a lot of stuff, right? It's a long journey and so many experiences you'll have. And some of these experiences actually share how you become a leader, what characteristics portray. So early in my career, in one of the companies, I was driving a global program, right?
Okay.
Sitting out of India, and I was responsible for the program where my stakeholders are in like four other countries.
Oh, okay.
So it's a year long program where I was trying to make sure that I run these programs, I have these meetings, I do a lot of stuff and all that stuff, right? And something what I realized is that it's very difficult. It is very challenging because stakeholders you're difficult to manage. Their expectations are difficult. Getting the compliance is difficult, and all those parts of it. And there are certain cases like what we were about to release something, and
Okay.
there's a testing going on. I was in the call. I was till like night 3:30, 4 o'clock. I was in the call. I was sitting and working with them. The thing didn't work at night, 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
And I'm the one who is standing in the forefront, and I have to communicate that to all my leaders and everything. And the date was supposed to be released that day and stuff. In this experience and in this scenario, the challenge, you would realize the fact that people are looking up to you. Your words, what you choose, the behavior, what you show, the facial expression, what you show matters.
absolutely.
And when I went to sleep around 3:30 in the morning, saying everything is done, release notes are done, and everything. 4 o'clock, my technical leader called from US saying that this is not working, and this is something we need to redo. We need a couple of days time. I had to take a long pause, but I said, fine, let's see how best we can do. Let's okay. So we are not looking for pinpointing who is the culprit, what did the problem. So I said, these things happen, let's move on and try doing this. See, the fact that I did not react, the fact that I actually said that yes, these things happen and we can do a better job next time, but let's find out what is the best way to do some of those things. It built so much amount of confidence in people, so much amount of uh, um, what trust in people, right? They were able to fix in a matter of few hours, and we delivered it the same.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But the fact is that leadership is all about showing up. Leadership is all about being present in that stuff. Leadership is all about giving credit to others and also
Hmm.
having an ability to like stand up for your people. Some of these characteristics are very, very critical. Okay, that defines your resiliency part.
Absolutely.
So, other example, right? Once
Yeah.
we were in a customer call, And we have a lot of the customer call during the whole career where we're dealing with some stuff and other things, and something did not go well in the customer call, and our box was not behaving properly or whatever the kind of a thing. Right?
Okay.
And the customer actually told us like this is useless.
Means your boss, or I mean, your boss just
Customer,
there. Okay, okay, sorry. Yeah.
yeah. So he said that this is useless, and our ability to actually stand there and take it matters. Okay.
Ha, okay.
And we stood there. We said, yes, we will correct it. We'll come back. We took the ownership. And he understood that I am showing up. I'm
Yeah.
taking the ownership. And I'm being there as a leader and take that ownership for the work what we have done. And we went back, and he loved the fact that we went back to him in a regular fashion. Gave him the details of what is the root cause of the problem is and how we are going to fix it, and how this is not going to happen all over again. All that reliability and resiliency what we build in the processes, we told him, and that is how you build a trust. You
Hmm.
know, when you deal with the customers or deal with your key customers, they would forgive you for a technical flaw, but
Okay.
they will not forgive you for a place where you do not own the thing. You do
And
not show up there.
your behavioral.
Behavioral stuff. Okay. You have to show up, you have to take the ownership and tell them that, yes, I'm there and I'm responsible. That is what they like. That is what they value in the longer term relationship.
Absolutely. Wow. No, thank you so much for sharing that. Especially your that 3:30 a.m. that first one is very inspiring, Rohit, because you slept okay, everything is fine, it's going to work, but then you get a shock of your this thing, and obviously you're bound to respond, but the way you responded the other way was really inspiring, Rohit.
Yes.
Sure, sure, Rohit. Thank you so much. I think I really look forward to be in touch with you and invite you more in such interesting conversations moving forward, Rohit. Thanks again for taking out your precious time. I think you have some cold or something, health issue.
Yeah. Well, I've been running a little bit cold from yesterday, but otherwise all good, all good. No, it's
So,
wonderful conversation. Like, thank you for reaching out. And usually these opportunities also give us some time to think about
hmm,
a lot of these things and share our experiences, right? Otherwise, it's always going to be a different kind of work every day.
absolutely. Pleasure is all ours, Rohit. Thank you so much, Rohit.
Thank you very much, Nanshi. Thank you very much. Bye.